You can obviously see from the title of this video what I'm going to be talking about today. This is something that I've wanted to talk about for a while. I have spoke about it on Instagram. I have addressed what happened with my business on Instagram, but I never went into detail. I never spoke about all the little details that made this situation happen. And it's something that I haven't been able to speak about since it happened, because this has been the worst period of my life. This time has been the most painful experience of my life. I can't describe what I've been through in any other way other than just saying it's been depressing and painful. So as you can see from the title, what happened, I am going to tell you all the nitty gritty of what happened with my business, the mistakes I made, and what I would do in the future to prevent something like this from happening ever again. Now, I started my beauty business when I was 21 years old. I started doing lash extensions from a little cabin in the bottom of my parents' garden. When I turned 23, I met my ex-boyfriend, and we obviously got together. Then when I was 25, I opened up my first salon. Now, this salon is something I am so proud of. It became super successful, super quickly. I couldn't have been more proud of this salon, and it's something that I'm still so proud of to this day. The business is blooming. All of the staff members that work in there are amazing, and I'm just so happy with that salon. Anyway, as I said, it became super successful super quickly, and obviously I was with my ex-boyfriend at the time. He saw that. He saw how successful that salon became so quickly. So a year later, he asked me if I would want to open up a second salon with him. Now, I loved him at the time. We lived together. I thought I was going to marry him. I thought I was going to have a future with him. I thought I was going to have children with him. So why would I not want to have a business with him that could create us an income that we could put towards our future? And as I said, I was in love with him, so I thought. So I agreed. Now, we made the second salon a copy and paste salon. We took all my ideas from my original salon, the logo, the name of the business, the theme, the branding, everything. We copied and pasted to the second salon. So we kept the name the same. I'd kept all the marketing materials the same, just adjusted them slightly. We literally just copied and pasted it because that salon was already so successful. Why would we not just create the exact same thing in a second location? So we opened up our second salon together. Well, my second salon, it would have been his first salon. Now, he invested more money than I did. I still invested a hefty chunk of money into that salon, but I was like the brains of the business. As I said, it was all my branding. I was the face of the business. I'd done all of the social media. I was literally doing all the background work. He just invested more money than I did and decorated the salon initially. So we obviously opened up our second salon together, with it being all my ideas. I found the premises. I contacted the solicitors, the accountants. I contacted the council. I was doing all the admin work. He initially just decorated the business and put in more money than I did. I done all the background work. I found all the assets that have ever contributed to the salon. I found all of the staff members and maintained the relationships with them that worked in the salon. I was essentially the manager. He was just an investor. So a couple months into us opening our salon, I found out he cheated on me. I actually found out at that point he had cheated on me multiple times throughout that relationship. So we broke up. Now, obviously, at that point, I was already an emotional wreck. I lived with that person. I'd been with them for 5 years. it was a lot for me to go through. Not only that, I then had to decide what I wanted to do about this salon. Now, he was convinced that we could make it work and that we could still run it together. Obviously, he wanted to still have the salon, so I agreed that we would try and give things a go. First mistake. Actually, that's not my first mistake. I'll talk to you about my mistakes at the end of this video. But I guess I just wasn't ready to let go of the salon. Neither did I have the money at that point to completely buy him out. And he already told me that he wouldn't leave the salon. He told me that he didn't want to leave the business. So I really actually had no choice other than to walk away myself or carry on working at the salon with him. So at that point, I was already going through a lot. He obviously moved out of our apartment and I decided to stick at the salon, and that was genuinely down to the fact that that was my baby. That business is my baby. Yes, it was my second salon, but it still meant everything to me. Everything I had invested into that salon, all my ideas, like I was the face of the business. If you know me, you know how passionate I am about the beauty industry, how passionate I am about my salons. Like that salon meant everything to me. I wasn't just going to go through a really shitty breakup and also just walk away from my business at the same time. Like it was a lot for me. So I decided to carry on working at the salon. Now I worked at that salon every single week without fail. I worked at that salon. Now every single penny I made that salon, I invested straight back into the business. I never ever once took one penny from that business, ever. Anything that salon made, we invested straight back into the business. It literally went back into the salon bank account. I never took a penny. I was in there weekly doing treatments. Bearing in mind, this salon was an hour from my house. So I was driving back and forth, obviously spending money on diesel just to work in there for free. So I worked in there every single week. Now, obviously it wasn't ideal. I did not want to be sat in there breaking my back, making my ex-boyfriend money. So things changed in my life and I decided that I wanted to move to Dubai. Now, I have to say, a massive reason for my decision to move into Dubai is because I wanted to get away from him. If you've been in a trauma bond with someone or a toxic relationship or an abusive relationship, the best thing you can do is get far away from that person as possible. Now, obviously, I should have probably walked away from the business as well, but I just could not let go of that business. I couldn't let go. Like, that was my baby. Like, that genuinely just meant everything to me. So I told him that this was around August time now, last year, or maybe July. I told him that I was planning on moving to Dubai. I needed to get away from the UK. The UK held too much trauma for me. I obviously still lived in the apartment that we had together. And I just was ready for a fresh start at that point. I was ready for a new challenge. I knew that I wanted more than just living in my little hometown in the UK. And he agreed. He was like, I think you should leave. I think it'd be good for you. I think you should go travel, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, he fully was on board with me leaving. So I left and moved to Dubai in September. Now, about 3 weeks after me leaving, I just want to add, our deal was that I was still going to carry on doing the admin for the salon. He was physically going to be able to pop in every now and again. I don't know if he ever did, but he was obviously physically in the country. I was away in another country, still doing all the background work. So 3 weeks into me moving to Dubai, he texts me. Bearing in mind, we never had any personal conversations since our breakup. Like, genuinely, the only things we would ever speak about, which was very few and far between, were about work. Again, it was mainly me doing everything. He just invested the money to begin with, and that was it. So we never really spoke ever. Definitely didn't have any personal conversations. 3 weeks into me moving to Dubai, he texted me out of the blue and said, "Hi, I just want to let you know that I've got a new girlfriend." Good for you. Like, that meant nothing to me. I don't know why he felt the need to tell me that. Without getting in too deep into our personal relationship, because this is meant to be for like business purposes, this video, I don't know if it hit him that I'd moved to Dubai and he just wanted to try and get at me, if he thought that it would make the business work better. I don't know. But anyway, he did tell me. And as I said, I didn't even respond, because what am I going to respond to that? Congratulations. Like, I really don't know what I was meant to say to that, nor did I really care at that point. I'm just starting my new life in Dubai. So after that, I feel like things did get more sour between us, but not from my side, because as I said, I didn't really give a shit that he'd moved on. It's never nice to know your partner's moved on, your ex-partner, has moved on. But as I said, that boy cheated on me. We was never going to get back together, ever. Like, no way was we going to get back together. I'd moved countries. Like, I would never get back with someone who treated me like that. So I didn't care. Like, if anything, like, good for him that he's someone else's problem now and not mine. So he told me that, but I do feel like since that point, that's when things did get a little bit more frosty between us. So then we got to November and we both decided that this just wasn't going to work. Like, we couldn't co-run a business together. We're exes at the end of the day with a toxic past. He's now moved on. I'm in another country. It just wasn't going to work. So I told him I really, really didn't want to leave the salon. I would rather buy him out. And he said absolutely not. There was no way in hell that he was going to leave the business. He wanted to buy me out. Now, this obviously was not something that I wanted. I sat on it for a few weeks and finally decided, you know what? I don't want to leave this business. However, I don't want to have any relationship with him whatsoever. I don't want my ex to be involved in my life. How am I meant to move on in my life with a new person when my ex still owns a business with me? And not only that, at the end of the day, I didn't want to be making my ex-boyfriend who cheated on me money. I don't want to be the brains of the business doing all the admin work to make you money. It just didn't make sense to me. So anyway, we did decide that he was going to buy me out. Again, really tough decision for me, not something I wanted to do. That business meant everything to me. I was the face of the business. I spent days and days overthinking this, thinking about this, speaking to my family about this, crying about this, to finally come to the decision that, you know what, he's not going to let me buy him out. I now live in another country anyway. I still have my original salon that is still absolutely smashing it. Let him buy me out. Like, put my ego aside and do what the right thing is to do and just let him have it, because, well, not have it, but buy it from me, because I don't want to talk to this boy anymore. I don't want to have any, like, thing to do with him. So we agreed back in November, he was going to buy me out. We agreed a price. We have it all on message. We agreed a price. And he said that he was going to get the contract and everything written up so that we could transfer the shares, transfer the ownership, because we was 50-50 on everything, 50-50 ownership, 50-50 shareholders. He was going to get a solicitor to write up the agreement so that he could buy me out and I could transfer the ownership and the shares to him. So that was back in November. December come around, still hadn't heard anything, so I chased him up. Wasn't really hearing anything back from him. January come around, still nothing. And at this point, obviously, mentally, I'm letting go of this salon. I know that it's no longer going to be mine anymore. So mentally, I have taken a little step back. I'm still doing work for the salon. I'm still keeping in contact with the girls who work in there, making sure everything's running smoothly. But I'm not giving it my full enthusiasm and my all anymore, because mentally, I'm leaving. And he actually did say to me, just stop doing anything for the salon now. Like, you don't need to do anything. I'm buying you out anyway, so just don't bother with anything to do with that salon anymore. So I kind of just took a little step back, and we got to January and I still hadn't heard from him, still hadn't received any contracts, definitely hadn't received any money. So that was January. Then February came around, and at this point I'd been chasing him and chasing him and chasing him, and I still hadn't heard anything back. So I basically sent him a long message like, what is going on? I need to know if you're buying me out. You said 3 months ago you're buying me out. I've mentally taken a step back. The salon's not earning as much money as it was anymore because I've mentally taken a step back. I need to know what's going on. At this point, he messaged me back saying, I don't want to pay you anything. I just want you to leave. Like, what do you mean? You just want me to leave my business that I've worked my fucking ass off for, I've invested in, I've put all my energy into, and I'm the face of? You just want me to leave? Absolutely not. So obviously that conversation didn't go down well, and I just said, you either need to pay me to leave, or we're going to have to figure something out where I'm still in this salon. Like, you leave. Like, I'm not leaving. What do you mean? Like, you leave. Like, do you even give a shit about the beauty industry? Like, you're in a completely different industry. You have another fucking job. You have, sorry for my language, you have a completely other job. You're in a completely different industry. Like, why do you want a beauty salon anyway? So anyway, that was that. Again, that conversation didn't go anywhere. And at this point, I'm getting super frustrated because I just want out of this salon, or I want him to leave this salon at this point. I had spent months and months and months getting upset over this and crying over this and it draining all of my energy. Like, imagine being with someone who's so toxic for 5 years and then you're still making them money. Anyway, so I then went back to England because of the war going on in Dubai, and also because I just really wanted to get this sorted, because it was really taking a toll on my mental health at this point. Like, nothing was getting sorted. He was just coming out with some absolute absurd things, like he wasn't going to pay me a penny, he just wanted me to leave, blah, blah, blah. So that's when I went back to the UK, and I obviously I'm the only person who deals with the social media, the admin, all of that side of things. He has no idea how to use social media. Absolutely no idea. He's never had Instagram in his whole entire life. I don't think he's ever even had like Facebook or TikTok or anything like that. Like, he does not use social media. We obviously had an Instagram account for the salon that was all mine. I'm actually going to insert a video here because I still have a video of the salon page. It was all my work, all my videos, all the photos were of me and my work. The videos were of my other staff members at my original salon. Like, literally all of it was my work. A lot of the videos were collaborations with my original salon and like my second salon. It was just all my work. Like, all the messages were from me, all the comments on the photos of me. It was all my work. Everything, that Instagram was mine. So every single morning I check all my business accounts without fail. That is just part of my morning routine. I'll check all my salon accounts, my business accounts, just make sure everything's running smoothly, that there's no DMs and there's no messages. Now, I woke up one Saturday morning, went onto the Instagram, and I'd been logged out. So I quickly went onto I tried to log in again and it wouldn't let me log in. It kept saying incorrect password. So I then went onto my personal account, searched the Sherbet and Beauty Studios account, and I'd been blocked. So at this point I thought, oh my God, someone has hacked into the account and is trying to sabotage the business. So I texted him straight away and was like, just to let you know, the Instagram's been hacked. Like, I don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. I tried all day to try and log in. I hadn't heard back from him. I was trying all day to log in. It just wasn't letting me. I asked my sister to check the account and it was still active, so I knew that I had been blocked. Anyway, he finally replied to me like 24 hours later and said, yeah, that was me. I changed the password. I logged you out because I went through all of the messages over the past year and I've seen that you hadn't responded to 3 client inquiries over the past year. Firstly, who do you think you are? Secondly, missing 3 client inquiries over 1 whole year. I'm not saying that's good business. I'm not. That was a fault on my half. However, is not that disruptive to the business, considering the amount of work that I have to do. It's not that disruptive to the business. Thirdly, why did you not message me and say, hi I've logged into the Instagram account and seen that there's been 3 client inquiries missed. Is there any reason for this? You know, do we need to get someone who can deal with the social media? Is it getting too much? Anything. Why have you decided to take it upon yourself to log into that Instagram account, which he, bearing in mind, would have no idea how to do himself? He wouldn't know how to do that. I can have a good guess who did do it. Actually, I can tell you who done it. It was obviously his girlfriend's help, who logged into the Instagram account, went through all of the messages, and then decided to block me log me out and change the password. Who has given you that authority to do that? That is my social media that I have spent 2 years building. That is my business account with my clients on it, my messages, everything, all my work. There's pictures of my little sister on there, or everything on that Instagram account was mine. Who has given you the authority to log me out of that Instagram account and block me? So I basically texted him that and said, who do you think you are? And he replied saying, you won't be regaining access to the Instagram account until it's been looked into. Guys, at this point, I was losing the will to live. We have no HR team who is looking into it. Me and you are the only people in this business and the staff members who actually work in the salon. Who is looking into it? Yourself? Because firstly, you don't even know how to run a business. Secondly, you don't know how to use social media. Thirdly, I was going insane at this point, like genuinely insane, because I'd worked so hard for that Instagram account. I'd worked so hard for that business. As I said, the beauty industry means everything to me. I'm the face of the business. This is my whole brand. This is my brand. This is my livelihood. This is everything to me. There was clients that I needed to respond to on that account. Like, guys, at this point, I was losing my shits. So obviously I was staying at my parents at this point because I was obviously back home from Dubai, and I was going mental. Like, I was crying non-stop because, as I said, to some people this might sound like a minor, you know, there's people dying out there, but this is my baby. This is everything I've worked my arse off for over the last 9 years. This is everything to me. These are my clients. This is my livelihood. This is my everything. And I hadn't even taken a penny from this salon. Not one penny from this salon. I never earned a penny from this salon, but I'd invested so much of myself into this salon. And you've got the audacity to log me out of my Instagram account. Who do you think you are? I then found out over the next few days that he actually was with his girlfriend that night that he logged me out. I could see the time that I'd been logged out. It was at 1 a.m. He was out all night drinking with his girlfriend. So don't know if that was a fun game for them. Don't know if that's what they do on their nights out. Great date night, logging your ex-girlfriend out of her business account. So anyway, I was obviously messaging him for like the next 6 days, like, give me the login details. You need to let me back onto the Instagram account. Like, I've got all my work on there. I've got everything on there. Like, you need to give me back my Instagram account. And he was just refusing, just not really replying to me. Wasn't answering any of my calls or anything. He just was not cooperating with me at all. Now, it got to the point where I was spiraling, like, bad. I was spiraling bad, like, having panic attacks. I was hyperventilating. I was crying. I was like losing sleep. And I was speaking to my mum and dad about it, obviously, and they was worried about me because of the way I was at that point. Like, when it's your business that means everything to you, I can only describe the feelings I was going through, and it was just like the worst anxiety, and just all I kept thinking about was, what are they doing on the Instagram account? How am I going to get this back? How am I going to get my work up, like, that I need from there? Like, I was going insane. And like, the fact that he wasn't cooperating with me or even responding to me at all was just making me go even more insane. And it was just reminding me of our toxic relationship, which I have done I've done so much healing over the past year. I've gone to therapy. I have worked on myself so hard. I've been single for like the last year at this point, and it was just reminding me like of how toxic that relationship was, with him just like not ignoring me for days and not responding to me about this Instagram account. And I spoke to my family about it, and they obviously know me best, and they said, just leave, watch that salon work without you. And this was the hardest decision I've ever had to make in my life. Even now I look back and think, like, I can't believe I went through that. Like, I just remember sitting in a park crying my eyes out. Even now, like, I can't actually believe someone who supposedly loved me for 5 years would put me through that. Anyway, I obviously sent him a nice long message at that point after a week of being locked out the Instagram account, just saying, have the salon. You win. Have the salon. I will walk away with nothing. Have it. He replied saying, thanks, I'll get the contract sent over to you so you can transfer the shares. I took it upon myself to go onto company's house and resign as director. And that was that. I left the business because I mentally couldn't take it anymore. I was becoming someone that I didn't want to become. I could see myself getting so ill from this, like unwell. And I know to a lot of people you might think, wow, that's so dramatic, but this is everything to me. Some people have children, some people have a really intense hobby, some people have a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, some people have, I don't know, like a big corporate job that they care about. This was everything to me. My business is my everything. It's my everything. It's my livelihood. It's my baby. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have children. I don't have a husband. I don't own a home. Like, this was me. This was mine. Something that I've worked so fucking hard for that I've not even taken a penny from. I've not taken 1 penny from. I've not earned anything back from the salon, and I've put everything into it. Absolutely my all. Like, my blood, sweat and tears into this salon. So to do that, to just walk away from the salon, fucking stabbed me in the heart. But I knew that I needed to do this to finally cut all ties from this person, because he was not a good person. He's not a good person. And I was in a trauma bonds, and maybe I'll do a whole other video on trauma bonds because they are so toxic. So I obviously walked away from the salon at that point. I was still blocked on the Instagram and everything. And then a few weeks later, one of my friends messaged me who still followed the Instagram account and said, oh, I've just seen that like someone's completely taken over the Instagram, like all your like work has now gone and it's turned into a hair account. Now, I know a few people that still know my ex, and I obviously found out that his girlfriend is a hairdresser. So I found out that she has taken over the salon. That killed me. That killed me, because everything I've worked hard for, now it all makes sense. It all makes sense. I also found out actually whilst I was in Dubai that his girlfriend was selling the salon beds on Facebook Marketplace before I had left. This was in December that I found out that his girlfriend was selling my salon beds on Facebook Marketplace. This was after me and him had agreed that he was going to buy me out, but still, I was still 50% owner, 50% shareholder at this point. And I found out through a friend of mine who was looking on Facebook Marketplace that she was trying to sell them. So it all makes sense, like the timeline of everything, of when he got the girlfriend, of when things got a bit sour between me, or not sour, but just like a bit more awkward between me and him, from her trying to sell the salon beds, from her and him logging me out of the Instagram account, from him telling me that he was going to buy me out and then he wasn't going to buy me out, and just making my life hell. Like, it all makes sense that their plan all along was for her to take over the salon and to get me out of it, and it worked. That is exactly what happened. And again, it's been the hardest thing of my life. I had so many people telling me to stick at it and to go to court and take it legal and to get a really good solicitor or a lawyer and to go down the legal route. But guys, when you have dealt with someone so toxic and evil for so long, I didn't want anything to do with him again. I didn't want anything to, yes, taking the loss and leaving that salon absolutely killed me. But dealing with him any longer, I probably would have ended up dead. I'm not joking, because my mental health was deteriorating fast at this point. Like, dealing with someone so awful was bad enough, but them trying to actually just force me out of the business anyway, I could have kept fighting. You know what? I couldn't have. I actually couldn't have. I had nothing left in me. I had nothing left in me. Yes, I would love to have been able to take it legal, because I would have won. Like, I absolutely would have won that I would have got money out of that, and you know, I would have been paid my share of the business to like leave and to walk away. But I couldn't take it anymore. That's all I can say on the matter. I physically couldn't, or mentally couldn't take it anymore. Like, I was genuinely going insane, and I just think for my own peace, I needed to just leave. So And obviously that's what's happened. And obviously finding out that she's now like working in there, running the Instagram, doing whatever, owning the salon, I don't know, nor do I care at this point. But yeah, it absolutely killed me. Can't say that it didn't when I'd put all my time, effort, money into that salon. I still have all the memories of me doing my opening party there, like inviting all my friends down for the opening party of the salon. Like, I still don't want to say that I still think of that salon as mine, but like, it was, I'm the founder. I was the founder of that salon. Like, it meant everything to me. Anyway, I just want to go through a few things that like I would have definitely do differently now, or I would never do again. I will never have a business with a partner again. And girls, look, I was in a situation with someone who, now looking back, was very, very unhealthy, and it probably was never the right thing to do in the first place. We probably never should have had a business together in the first place. I don't regret it because I've learned so much, and I was so proud of that salon when I opened it. But we should never have opened that salon together. They were all my ideas. They were all my business ideas. It was all my branding. It was all mine, and I just gave that to him. Like, I just gave that to him. Second thing I would do, if you are opening any kind of business, whether it be online, anything, with a friend, a family member, a partner, anyone, have contracts written up. We obviously had no contracts written up because we were boyfriend and girlfriend, we lived together, and I trusted him at the time. So we had no contracts written up because everything was just like word of mouth, and like we were just kind of on the same page, I guess, at that time. So always have contracts written up. Get solicitors to write your contracts up if you're going to start a business with someone. Don't do what I did and just have it all over text or phone call or in person, because you never know when that person can switch up on you. You never know if that person's going to betray you. You never know if that person's going to steal all your business ideas and go and do them themselves. You don't know. You can trust someone so much, and they could still completely disrespect you. I never thought this person would cheat on me. I never thought this person would cheat on me. Yeah, he done stupid things throughout the relationship, but I never thought he would cheat on me. I never even thought he would completely go behind my back with business. I genuinely thought he had better morals than that. I don't know how he sleeps at night, but always have a contract written up. And thirdly, I would say is just keep some things for yourself. If you have business ideas, you know, you can get excited about them, that's absolutely fine. I love talking about business ideas. I love getting excited about projects. I love thinking of new concepts and being creative. But sometimes you need to keep things to yourself, because again, you never know who's going to steal those ideas. You never know who's going to just make fun of those ideas. You never know who's going to hold those ideas against you. So sometimes, yes, it's nice to get excited about things and want to talk to your friends, family, boyfriend, girlfriends about them. But honestly, take my advice. Sometimes just keep things for yourself. Sometimes you just need to do things on your own, and I promise you're more than capable. You are more than capable to do it on your own. Never think that you need a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a partner or a friend to help you. I promise you now, there are ways that you can get around things where you can do things on your own. I don't think I would ever start a business with someone again. I think I've learned a lot, and I think I've grown a lot since I opened that salon with him. Obviously, it was a long time ago now, and I do think if I was to open up a salon with someone else, or not even a salon, any business, I would definitely do things differently, and I definitely would make sure in my gut it feels right. Like, I would make sure that it feels really genuine and pure, and the person is trustworthy. Again, you never know. You just never know if someone's going to be trustworthy or not, but I would definitely know in my gut more now. My intuition would tell me if this person is loyal and trustworthy. So honestly, guys, I hope this insight to what happened with my business is helpful to some people. I hope you can take some of my advice from it. Hope you enjoyed a bit of gossip, and I'm glad I've got this off my chest. I thought I was going to cry throughout this whole video, But I'm glad I've got it off my chest. I'm actually really glad, because I've really been putting off this video because I haven't wanted it to look like I'm just bitching about my last relationship, or that I'm jealous or envious. No, I'm fucking angry. Like, yes, I'm angry. I probably will be angry for the rest of, well, I hope I'm not. You know what? I hope after this video I can let it go, because I've really tried to just heal from this situation and not let it affect my daily life. But guys, it's affected me massively. It's affected me massively. I get upset about this salon and this business a lot. As I said, it was my baby. It was everything to me, and it's really taken a toll on me. But every day gets easier, and time is a healer, and you never know, in the future I might open up another salon, another place in the world, another country, or you never know, maybe with someone else. But I think I've just needed the time to really heal and to just focus on myself and not worry about that salon. And I know in the long run this was the best thing to do, because I would have been miserable working with that person still. When I say working with that person, as I said, he was the least cooperative person in the world. He barely done anything for that business apart from invest into it. So good luck to them, because I probably know what's coming and it ain't good for them. Karma will do its thing, and as I said, I'm not one of those people to go and get revenge. I'm not. It's not in my nature. It's not who I am as a person. I know I've done the right thing. I know I'm a good, genuine person. I know I've got a good heart, and unfortunately not everyone is the same. Not everyone has a good heart. Not everyone has genuine intentions. There are people out there that are going to backstab you and betray you, and unfortunately my ex-boyfriend is one of those people. So as I said, karma will do its thing, and time has definitely helped me process this and get through it. I'm obviously more distracted now. I have other things to focus on. I'm back doing my YouTube. I'm going to travel to America. I still have my original salon that's so successful. Like, life is good, and I'm really focusing on the positive things in my life, and the things that bring me joy. And as I said, if I was still in that salon, who knows what would have happened to me, because it was just getting worse and worse and worse for my mental health. So anyway, I hope you liked this video. Like I said, I'm just glad I made it through without crying. And hopefully I never have to talk about this again. I would still love to take it legal. I still could. I could still take this legal. Any business solicitors or lawyers out there, message me if you've got any advice. I'm still intrigued to know what I could do about this. But at the same time, I'm fine with it. Like, I'm okay. I think. No, I'm okay with this decision, and I feel like I'm in a better place in my life now. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.